Dean, thank you so much for joining us here today. So mining stocks last year mining IPOs last year actually had a really good year. We saw 13 IPOs listing on the exchange. Um, what do you think that says about the sector and specifically the health of this sector?
Yes, it was a pretty good year. We sort of coined the phrase the mining came back in 2017 because we saw a return of IPOs on our markets. We had three IPOs on the TSX itself. Nexa Resources being the largest IPO we've seen in a long time, raising 732 million interlisting here and in New York. That was great to see the Brazilians coming back in such force. We also had Copper and Titan Mining, three really good names listed on the TSX last year, raising close to $1 billion in total. On the venture, we had 10 IPOs last year, pure IPOs, not RTOs, but pure IPOs. And IPOs, as you might know, are a very good leading indicator of the health of a market. And seeing IPOs returning last year was really good. We had zero in 2016, and before in the past 5 years, really these just blew everything out of the water. So we're pretty encouraged, and we're hoping 2018 that trend continues.
Yeah. Are we seeing signs of that now? We're about a quarter into the year now. What's your outlook for IPOs this year?
The outlook is pretty strong. So far in January, we're seeing an uptick in the number of financings being done, and we're also seeing uptick in the number of new listings being done. Last year itself was pretty good for new listings. We had a 73% increase in new listings in 2017 total, and we had a 12% increase in market cap of mining companies. So in all, 2017 was a really encouraging year going into 2018. And so far, as I said earlier, in January, we're seeing that trend continue where we've seen uptick in both new listings and capital raises being done on our markets. And for the first half of 2018, when we look deeper into the pipeline, we're seeing a pretty healthy pipeline when it comes to IPOs and financings and new listings in general. So we're pretty encouraged as to what 2018 will bring for mining.
Now we've seen, Dean, some companies are looking to other exchanges to list, not specifically mining companies, but some mining companies indeed. What's the TSX, what's the value of listing on the big exchange or even the venture?
Well, we haven't really seen much companies looking outside of the TSX and the TSX venture when it comes to mining. Our dominance in mining has been well established for quite some time. Over the past 5 years, the TSX has been home to over half the number of mining financings being done globally, and up to 40% of every dollar raised globally over the past 5 years has been on our exchange. We haven't seen that trend turn in another direction. We've actually seen an increase in the number of interlistings that we're getting from our key competitor in the mining space, ASX. ASX has half of the number of mining names that we have listed. So Toronto Stock Exchange remains a dominant home for mining companies, public mining companies and private companies looking to access the public market for capital. So our dominance, I believe, has a lot to do with the depth of our investor base that we have here, our access to the North American capital, institutional and retail market. That geographical access is an advantage for sure. And very importantly, the strength of our regulatory environment here is a key differentiator for us in this sector.
Dean, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime. Thank you.